What's going on? Logan Henry here, and if you're just tuning in, I help high-performing, busy guys who have reached a point where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I help them go back in time and rediscover the energy, enthusiasm, and physical confidence and body of their early 20s and 30s without having to take over their entire life in the process. And one of my clients who has been with me for about 6 months now, who has created massive success for himself, he had initially entered in what we call the Accelerated Method program, which is the very first 90-day program that all the high-performing guys go through. And this gentleman in particular went through the Accelerated Method program, lost over 30 pounds, and in that time, he could have been done with it, right? He could have said no, but for him, a lot of my guys are very determined, they're hungry to take things to another level, and that's exactly what he did. Now, when he did this, his point in time of doing this, entering the next level, which we call the 180, he had entered in that frame about probably in a September time frame, right? And so the holidays were coming right around the corner. Now, for him, he had his sights to take things to another level, to drop another 20 pounds. And he said this would put him in the best shape of his adult life. And he said, this is what I really want. I've got my energy back. I want to take things to another level now physically, and I want to drop another 20 pounds. Flash forward to now, he ended up dropping that 20 pounds, and he did it through the holidays. Now, why do I bring this up to you? Well, because when I asked him, I said, what have you found to be different this time that allowed you to not only drop the extra 20 pounds, you've dropped over 50 pounds altogether, and by the way, he's still excelling and pushing forward. I said, why was this time any different? Because he had tried so many things in the past that even with the greatest effort in the world, he just would find himself falling short, right? He maybe have a lot of false starts, or he'd try things and he'd get a little bit of a result. But then one of the challenges that I found from a lot of guys have experienced, and myself included, is that typically they may accomplish something in the short term, and that accomplishment can sometimes seem as a milestone to just kind of rest on, if you want to call it, right? And inside our world, we like to set things in 90-day chapters. And the reason we do this is because I found from my experience that 90 days is long enough to accomplish something big, but short enough to not let you linger around and almost get the engine revved up, if you want to say, and get things moving. So for him, when I asked him why was this time any different, he said, well, what was funny is that in here we set having that deadline set. So when he had entered and took things to the next level inside the 180, he said having that deadline set created a sense of urgency for him, right? Because he could have left at the 30 pounds, and he said that would have been a great accomplishment, but he knew there was more in him. So he got that extra 20, and he did it even breaking through temptations around the holidays, right? Things coming at him left to right, and he was able to do it. And he said it was different because in the past, these other things that he had attempted, though with a great effort and sometimes with short-term success, he never would give himself urgency. He would give himself this long period of time, and it would almost allow him to just kind of give himself permission to procrastinate. And he said this time was much different because I had the urgency set. I set a deadline, and this was incredible. And he said one of the biggest lessons he took away from it, he's like, man, if I can do this physically, now I'm going to start applying this inside my business world, take things to another level from financial standpoints, everything. When he's already doing successful, right, in his world, but he wanted to take things to another level, he's like, I'm going to start doing this in my everyday life now. And needless to say, he has been doing that, and things have been going really well. But what's my point, and why do I share this with you? Well, I share this with you is because oftentimes I think as humans alone, right, we can give ourselves this almost too much ample amount of time to achieve something. Think about anything you've ever accomplished before. Sometimes, yes, it can take a while to get this stuff, but what I share with my clients, and I'm going to share with you right now, is consider your results will go as fast as you allow them to. And I know you might be thinking, well, Logan, I'm not in control of certain things in my life, right? There are certain things that may come your way, sickness might happen, those kind of things. I get it, right? I hear you loud and clear. But what I mean when I say your results will go as fast as you allow them to is that if your brain, will kick on the moment you give it an actual deadline. You say it out loud, you say, this is the date and this is where I'm going to get it to, right? Where if in 90 days, instead of saying I'm going to give myself an entire year, you condense it to that shorter period of time, your brain will kick on and you will start putting forth the actions necessary and required if it means something to you, right? And you'll be able to get after it. And I've found from experience that that can help you accomplish things over a longer period of time in 90-day stints, as opposed to if you just gave yourself, I'm going to complete this in 1 year, 2 years, and doing it almost in a sense because you're giving yourself more time because you're afraid of maybe that failure. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I know I have. But my suggestion and what I'm just sharing with you now and what I share with my clients is consider if you have having a goal that maybe you have your sight set on, right? And you find it to be elusive, meaning it's almost something that just keeps disappearing. My question for you is, where is the urgency? What's the urgency for you? Why does it have meaning for you? Why is that thing you want to go after? Why does it have meaning? Because consider, you don't lack motivation. No one does. They just may lack meaning. Once you find meaning, you will be unstoppable. So that being said, what's your urgency? Why do you deem it so important to be urgent enough? And then what is the game plan and the strategy you have to start attacking it and putting forth the actions and behaviors that which you can control to start getting after it? So that's all I got now. Listen, if you want the overall game plan or at least some insight more of how to get your health in order, if you're a high-performing busy guy and you want kind of get your energy back, you want to be having all-day energy levels operating on Mach speed and making sure that your physical body, you're proud of the guy you see staring back in the mirror, happy with how your clothes fit, then I encourage you and invite you to go check out my new book, Regain Your Edge. You can go check it out at www.logan-henry.com/regain your edge. Otherwise, I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you next time. I'm Logan. I'm out.